coach LCT. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yes.
So we used to work together, and we, funnily enough, did our personal training certificates around the same time. I'm finally doing my level 3 now. So I was wondering, and I thought, just for the listeners to know, how does someone go about getting a level 3 personal training certificate? How do you become a fully qualified personal trainer?
Right. So there's a few ways. There's the quick way, and there's the way that we did it, which is the very, very long, tedious way. Quick way is probably just joining like a 6-week course online, really, isn't it? It's something that I actually don't think is right, but you can become a PT quite easy. Don't really need experience. You just need to do the course. So online, there's 6-week challenges, 6-week programs and stuff that you can do with like PT Academy. That's probably the easiest way, but it's quite costly. Although I do think they do like monthly payments, so you can pay like 60, 70 quid a month or something like that over like 10 months, or pay for it in one go. But obviously nobody wants to spend 700 to £1,000 in one go, do they really?
Yeah, spread the cost out. So a lot of people can get a PT certificate. So how do you weed out people who are good personal trainers as opposed to the ones who've literally just done the course in a week and just want money? Like, how do you know who knows their stuff?
You've got to see who's been training for long. Like for you, you've been training 5-6 years before you decided I'm going to do the course. I trained 5-6 years before I decided I'm going to do the course. I've been training since I was 16. So, you know, no offense to the 17, 18-year-old PTs, but unless they've been training for 3-4 years already, their experience levels are going to be quite low. Although I'm not saying they don't know their stuff, because they can know their stuff, especially if they've had the coach themselves who's sort of taught them everything they know. But for the majority of people, it's not who looks good on the internet. It's who's been doing it for longer and who's actually going to support their clients. Because it's not all about, you know, knowledge. It's a lot of it is about just being a people person, being able to support your people.
Yeah. What motivates you to train?
Train. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
you're still motivated.
I've never been one of these people that wants to look a certain way. I just enjoy training. You know, it's like, you're the same.
Yeah. You make it part of your lifestyle, right? Do you feel like being motivated yourself helps you motivate your clients? Yeah. Do you feel like being motivated yourself helps that?
You can't be a PT that doesn't enjoy training, can you?
Yeah, 100%. What does
I don't think so anyway.
What does long-term health mean to you?
Good cardiovascular health, being able to do things. I know it sounds stupid, but just being able to do stuff with your kids when you're older. When you've got little kids running around and you can't chase them, little things like that. Living into older ages rather than, you know, no offense to people, but having heart attacks at 50 because smoking, drinking, not exercising. I've got clients that are in their 50s that are fitter than 30-year-olds I know. And it's not down to me, because a lot of them have been training for years. A lot of it is just down to consistency and taking your time with everything.
Yeah,
exactly. It's little things, honestly. Like the example I always use is the chasing your kids around. If you're, you know, if you got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid and you can't take them to the park and chase them, like it's not a massive deal, but to them it is.
Yeah, people are having kids a lot later these days as well. So if you're having your kids later, then you need to be able to do stuff with your kids at an older age. You know.
Exactly. Especially nowadays, people get pregnant way older now.
Yeah. I think people are.
I mean, I've got a little brother. He's 1.5 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like a lot of people, they want to get their own life in order first, and then go and have kids, and then do all that. But you're not going to be able to do all that if you don't look after your body now, and then, you know, make it so you're still able to do the same things when you're, say, 50. You know. Yeah, my goal is to sort of build now and then still be able to train, if possible, with the same intensity now as I do when I'm 50, if possible. Do everything I can now to do that.
Exactly.
I feel like you're the same. You
know what? Yeah, with the type of training that we do, I don't know if you're still the same, but you used to just do weightlifting.
Yeah.
Weightlifting is completely different to, like, say, CrossFit or HIIT training. The sort of intensity is completely different, isn't it? And it's definitely something you can do into the later years. Especially once you're after a certain age, you need to be doing weightlifting just to have good bone density, just to have the right muscle to just carry yourself around. Really, do little things such as walking become harder, obviously, when you're older. So if you don't have the muscle to do that,
What do you think about
you're
CrossFit?
stuck. Oh, what? Sorry.
About CrossFit?
CrossFit.
Yeah.
Good question. I don't. You know what? I don't have an issue with. You got me. I don't have an issue with CrossFitters as long as the form is good and that they look after themselves. But you do always hear about people getting injured, and it's usually down to stupid stuff. Stuff that they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
Like a beginner trying to do a handstand shoulder walk, whatever they call it. It's not something that the experienced ones are doing. It's usually the ones that have got less experience trying to just keep up with the more experienced ones. Obviously, Kath's sisters all do. My fiance Kath, all of her sisters do CrossFit. They're never injured, but they've taken it a step at a time. And especially Sam. Sam's really good at CrossFit. She's got Lance, who's a CrossFit coach. He's her boyfriend. So she's doing stuff properly. Whereas the issue is people see stuff on the internet, they try and keep up, and it's quite difficult. Can you hear my dog?
I don't know what that is. Maybe that's your dog.
Right, that's my dog. If he
okay.
starts getting really annoying, it's like I'll fight him on video.
All right, we got off that. Yeah. Yeah, I only asked that because my thoughts on CrossFit are it's great for probably the most effective thing for your overall fitness, but because you see this crazy stuff online, you see what the top level CrossFit athletes are doing, and sometimes you're thrown in at the deep end in these like classes where you're taught exercises in the most sort of efficient way possible to bang out as many reps as quickly as possible. Whereas if you come from a more like bodybuilding or strength based like background, like me and you learn those exercises in their simplest form, targeting the muscles first, and so you learn the movement first, and then you can apply that to CrossFit and you get way more out of it because you know the correct technique, and then you're applying it in a different way to get more out of it. But total beginners throwing themselves in doing these like I don't know how you describe the pull-ups and stuff they do, where it's just very efficient but very fluid movement. Like I'm not surprised people get joint pains and stuff like within their first month sometimes, but yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, look, around here, especially at the moment, there's quite a few like CrossFit gyms, and I think most of them are really good. So I don't think it's like locally, I don't think CrossFit is an issue. I think it's probably more of an issue in the bigger cities where there's loads and loads of people doing it, and maybe not all of them are as qualified as others. But around here, you got a few. I'm not going to name any gyms, but you got a few gyms that do CrossFit, and they're actually really good. You see them online. They look after their people, and they don't have people doing stupid things. It's more like TikTok nowadays. You go on TikTok and something comes up, and they're just doing some mad stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's just not necessary. Snoopy, come here, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. There's a good I love the community side of it, and same with classes like what you do and like what I do now as well. People working together at the same time, like seeing someone across from you working harder than you motivates you so much more to train. Now I just want to change topic a little bit. I just want to know your thoughts, because I feel like we've got a similar point of view on this, on the average person who sees these people who are jacked juice to the gills on social media. What do you think about the average person thinking about doing steroids?
That's stupid, isn't it, for the average person? But nowadays, what is the average person, to be honest? But
there's more than you think.
I don't really have I don't have a good opinion on steroids. I don't have a bad opinion. I just, in one sense, I kind of just don't care. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't personally use them, but I'm not a competitor, so I understand why competitors use them. It's not cheating because everyone does it. It'd be cheating if you were saying you're not using it and you are. But when it comes to competitive bodybuilding, they're all on juice. They all know they're on juice. It's not cheating. If you're an average person who doesn't look to make money from bodybuilding or to become a pro, it's a risk, isn't it? It's a health risk that's not worth taking. Especially if you've just started training. So, people who are just beginning to train, they see results and then they hit the plateau. They're not getting the beginner gains anymore, and they're like, oh, what do I do now? Steroids isn't the answer, because you see a lot of people do take them, and then lockdown is a perfect example. You know, when everyone couldn't train, all the people that started training and started taking juice, they got to a stage, stopped training because of lockdown, and they lost all their muscle mass.
Yeah.
They all came back as if they'd
away.
never been in the gym. Whereas the natural people who'd been training for 4 to 5 years, they came out of lockdown, obviously not as muscular. It's natural. You've not been doing the same sort of resistance, but they all came back sort of looking half similar to what they did going in. And that's another thing with steroids. Once you stop taking them, you're going to see a drastic change the opposite way.
Yeah.
So it's not like a short-term thing; it's a long-term thing.
Yeah. I noticed.
What do you think?
In fact, well, it surprised me to find out just how many people that I would probably describe as like the average like gym goer. There was a higher percentage than I thought of people who do take steroids, just who don't compete or anything. They just have this sort of ideal of what they want to look like, but they're not willing to put in the level of work required to get there. So they'll train, say 3-4 days a week, go out on the weekend, drink, eat pizza, come back in, use steroids, just sort of maintain this kind of skinny fat kind of semi-muscular kind of physique. So you'd look at them and think, oh, they look quite good, but you'd assume there was a higher level of work put in than actually is. And then when I realized that, and you see actually some of these people aren't even that strong, you would think they were stronger. I remember Nath saying actually it was so satisfying going next to someone you know for a fact is taking stuff and just lifting more weight than them, even though you look like you shouldn't be able to lift anything near as much weight. And it's just because, like,
exactly,
end of the day, hard work pays off, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So I know you said, sorry, go.
Go on.
Well, I know you said you don't care if other people take steroids. I only do care when I think they're taking steroids, but not disclosing that they're taking steroids. For example,
lying about
celebrities
it.
Or not even lying about it, just not making it abundantly clear when you're selling like fitness programs and things like that on your Instagram, when you're promoting how you look, you know, as a lifestyle, but you're not disclosing that information. What do you reckon about that?
Right. A lot of people, most people that don't or aren't involved in the fitness industry are quite oblivious to it. They'll see a massive bodybuilder and assume that's natural and it's something that me, you, Nathan could achieve, but we couldn't without the help that they get. Obviously, they're not the average person, though. These people are working fitness professionals, so I do care when that's happening, especially not so much if they're taking it themselves. But I'm not one to post progress photos. If you look at my profile, there's barely anything like that. But I see a lot of people posting progress photos, and the before is natural and the after is juiced up.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a super strong steroid, because there's obviously different levels of it. Even if it's a simple steroid, something, you know, one of the weaker kinds, should we call it, it's still not natural. So I don't think you should be posting that progress and saying this is what you're going to achieve with me in 12 weeks without saying this is an unnatural transformation. So I get that point, but for if it's just like a builder and they're going to the gym and taking steroids and posting photos of themselves, when it's those people, I don't care. They can do what they want. That you're in control of your life. It's just about health, isn't it? And that's the only time that I'd be a bit worried. If you see somebody and they're not well because of it, that's when I'd care. Or if one of my clients was to ask about it, then I'd care, because I wouldn't want my clients touching this stuff. But that's, again, because my client base isn't bodybuilders. My client base is people trying to be healthy. Mums, dads, young people starting the gym that don't know what they're doing yet. So they're not the kind of people that should be touching that stuff. But again, if you're a builder, if you're a 35-year-old man or woman that wants to do that, I'm not bothered, as long as you're not trying to sell stuff with it.
Fair enough. Who would you say, if you had to, put a couple of names out there, which celebrities would you say probably are on steroids, who most people, as you said before, like most people are oblivious to it. They just see like a bodybuilder or something and think, oh, that's probably natural. Whereas, like exactly how much effort it takes to get to that. So which celebrities do you think are widely considered to be natural by like the average person who doesn't go to the gym, who you think takes yeah, take steroids.
Well, all the old WWE actors, you know which ones? Dwayne.
100%. Oh, people think
Dave
Dwayne
Batista. They're
Johnson is
not.
natural. No way. No way.
No, there is people that think obviously, but the thing is, he's about what 6'5" or something. To fill out a frame like that, it would take ridiculous amount of work, and it'd be like just doing that. You wouldn't be able to do acting. I'm sure that those WWE fighters fight like every day for like 260 days of the year. Imagine how much food you'd have to consume to just cover that. Dave Batista, the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. Obviously, he's not the same as he was a few years ago, but he's still jacked, isn't he? There's quite a few more. You know, there's the Thor. The guy that does Thor.
Yeah, I was
potentially,
thinking Thor,
especially in the recent years, the first few years of Thor, definitely something that was naturally obtainable. But in the last few years,
are you talking Hemsworth or the Mountain?
Hemsworth, yeah.
Yeah, right.
The older one, not the younger one. I forgot his name, but him.
Yeah.
Even there is quite a few, isn't there? Who would you, off the top of your head, who are you thinking?
Yeah, those are the names I was thinking, to be fair. Like mostly like The Rock and Chris Hemsworth, two really big people who, you know, people assume, oh, they just work really hard in the gym. I'm sure they do work really hard in the gym, but I think there needs to be more sort of focus on disclosing. I think it would take someone of that level to start being open about like exactly what they're taking, to encourage everyone else to come out about what they're taking. And then it would stop people feeling so self-conscious about themselves, thinking, oh, I don't look like Chris Hemsworth, I must be doing something wrong in the gym. It's like, no, you know, that these guys, they're professionals, and they use their physique to get, you know, acting roles and things like that. There's a reason they do it, but you shouldn't have to look like that as well, you know?
No, the thing with those, even if they weren't taking steroids, they've still got, you know, a 24/7 PT coach. The food that they're eating probably costs like a weekly shop for a day. They're getting the best of everything. So, like Chris is, isn't it? That's his name. Like his physique is probably obtainable naturally to a lot of people, but
I don't know about a lot of people.
It would take years and years and years, whereas he did it from one Thor film to another, where he grew probably like 20 pounds of muscle, not 20 pounds altogether, just of pure muscle mass and veins. That's when it gets a bit tricky, because his physique, for the top athletes, is obtainable. You got that sprinter, Alkenes or Alkynes, something like that. He's massive. And he's natural. They get tested all the time. But he's been doing it since he was like 16, 17. And it's so slow, the progression. You can see it.
Yeah. What do you think?
You know, Liver King, that's a perfect example. Obviously, he's just come out as... He's not a celebrity, is he? Or an actor, but he's...
I'd say he's a celebrity now, maybe.
Quite a bit at the moment.
Yeah. What do you think of KSI's transformation? Have you seen how KSI looks these days?
Yeah, I think he's natural, yeah. He's just... You know, the difference between maybe him and someone else is the mass, yeah? I think, you know, having abs, having veins, and being lean, anyone can do that. Even if you don't have a ridiculous amount of muscle mass, if you're lean, you're probably going to look muscular. And that's what he's like.
Yeah, and I think he is an example of someone...
genetics.
Yeah, yes. He's an example of someone as well, I think, who does work hard enough and probably does have the nutritionists available to give him the best diet and set him up in the perfect way to achieve that. Whereas again, for the average person, you're probably never going to look as good as KSI, just because you don't have the resources that he has. I don't think he's on steroids either. I just think that he's just got everything at his disposal to look his best and, you know, perform his best.
Yeah, it's like Logan Paul. When you think about it, if you look at the family members, even Deji's the little brother, isn't he? He's in good shape. He's obviously not in as good a shape, but he's in good shape. And a lot of it does come down to genetics. Same with the Logan and Jake and Logan. Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
Them two. Logan more so. I think Logan, he's progressed slowly over the years, and he's always been sort of a gym goer. Whereas Jake, I know that there's question marks over him because I think they were trying to test him for some boxing fight or something, and he wouldn't do it. So there is question marks over him. But Logan, I think, would definitely be natural. And if you check his physique, he's pretty jacked as well.
Yeah, 100%. To bring it back from, celebrities and physiques, bringing it back to Wales, we live somewhere, we're lucky to live somewhere where you don't have to go to the gym to stay fit. There's so much we can do outdoors. Like, we got the mountains and the beaches and everything. What do you think people could do around here to, develop their fitness outdoors?
Running, walking, mountains, hiking, swimming. I think there's a lot of groups I always see online. These people will just go together to the beach, even during the winter, and they'll just swim. So swimming, don't even need a membership at a swimming pool nowadays. Honestly, I don't know what they're called, but I always see it. I go on the internet on Facebook, and they'll be like looking for a swimming group to do cold water swimming. And you look at the comments, there's like 30 comments. Come join us. There's loads of little groups that you can join to do things. You don't have to do anything in the gym. There's people that just don't like the gym. I've got a client. He's been with me for a year and a half, but in that year and a half, he only trains with me in the winter because he's a runner. So in the winter, he comes to the gym, does my classes, and does weightlifting. As soon as it gets to like March, April, when the weather's good, he's outdoors. So you don't need the gym unless you want to use the gym. But yeah, swimming, walking, running, hikes, all that. I'm going to throw this ball away so my dog stops. Honestly, what he's doing
sounds like he's choking
is
on
a madness. Before I joined you, he didn't make a single noise, right? Now, I don't know what's possessed him, but he's tearing up this ball that I've given him. I'm going to throw it in there and see if he stays in there. 2 seconds.
No worries. I don't think it's picking up too much on this anyway.
I am back.
Sorted.
I've got a feeling that he's going to come straight back to me and carry on chewing on this ball.
It's okay. Yep. We've only got a few minutes left anyway. Just final question. Which do you think is the best gym in North Wales?
Best gym?
Yeah.
For what?
Anything. Okay.
Honestly,
okay. I'm sorry.
It really depends.
So not for a new person, for like the average gym goer, someone who's like competent in the gym, looking to go to a new gym, because I'd say you've probably trained at most of the gyms around here. Which do you think are the best ones? Maybe for students who are in uni,
right.
Different gyms have got
different positives and different negatives. My favorite gym to train at is the one I work at, Endzone. But the issue with training where you work is you want to sort of have a change between work and training, because for me, training is me time, right? So that's my favorite gym to train at. But there'll be a lot of time I'll just go and train somewhere else. Around where I've trained personally, I'm not going to just call out random ones. You got Conwy Fit, which is in Chandler Junction. I really like that one. Mainly because I don't know anyone there, so I just go there, train, get on with it. Nobody talks to me. Lovely. You got that Le Sport, which is on, I think, Ross-on-Sea. That's a really good gym. They're always banging out new machines, and it's like top of the range bodybuilder stuff. I like the Ignite. I think that one's in Llandudno, across from the main area there.
Yeah.
So obviously you got all the chain gyms. I don't particularly like the chain gyms, mainly because of the amount of people that go there and the amount of machines they have. They'll have like one leg press between, say, 300 people at a time, which it's not really good enough.
Not ideal.
Right. Yeah, out of the ones I've been to, I know you've not been to Endzone. Endzone, Conwy Fit, Le Sport, and Ignite. They've been my favourite ones to train at.
I promise I'll come to Endzone at some point.
Even Banger Barbell's good. That Banger Barbell's really good.
Oh, I've heard that's good. Yeah, it's like old school, isn't it?
I've not been there for over a year, but when I was going, I liked it.
What do you think of the new Pure Gym, or Pure Gym in general?
Right. So again, I'll train there sometimes. Kath trains there. Reason for that is she's a 6 a.m. trainer, so she likes to train in the morning, and she can't train in Endzone because I'm there and there's classes on at that time. So every once in a while I'll go there with her, and it's that, you know what, there's no issue with the gym. It's not ideal, like I say, with the amount of people and the amount of machines. Like last time I went there, I had to wait half an hour for a row, which I thought was like genuinely half an hour. I timed it because I was thinking to myself, I'm going to be here waiting for a while. So I just ended up doing stuff that wasn't in my program, which isn't ideal. And the other thing is, like, especially with the pure gyms, 24 hours, there's no cleaners there and they have showers and stuff. It's not ideal.
Oh, I
mean?
see.
Like, so there's a certain time where they'll have people there, they're on top of it cleaning. And then if you go in there between sort of like after 8 p.m. till in the morning, there's nobody there working. So the place hasn't been cleaned for like 8 hours. You know, a few people have showered. It's disgusting, especially if you're like trying to get ready for work in the morning or whatever. Out of the chain gyms, I probably would say Fitness First is better. But again, I wouldn't go train there because I worked there for 4 years. So
yeah, same. I've not been there for so long. I'm curious though. I
go there every once in a while. If they do day passes, I'll go. I'll say hi to everyone. I think it's just nice to see everyone that we used to work with. But I'll go there. I'll talk to them for a bit. I'll do a little bit of a session. And the good thing with that gym is obviously they got the sauna and stuff. But again, because I was there for 4 years, even if it wasn't in the gym itself, I don't want to be there. It just feels like work.
Yeah, I get you. All right, final question for you, mate. What is your long-term training goal? Like one goal that you're working towards now?
So obviously still doing weight training. Maintenance, if anything, like I don't want to sort of like, I know a lot of people that become PTs will stop training themselves. They obviously focus too much on the business side and stop training themselves. So for me, my main focus is my clients. So just maintenance. If I get a chance to work on a bulk or a cut, then I will do. Like last year, from like, say March till about July, I did the cut. The main reason I did that wasn't for me, actually. It was a few of my clients wanted more help with the diet side of things. And the easiest way to help somebody is by going through it with them. So I started going into a cut myself where the calories were quite low, just so I can sort of come up with ideas that I will do that they could also do. Obviously some PTs do meal plans and stuff. I don't do meal plans. I let my clients pick what they eat as long as they're within macros. So the easiest way of letting somebody pick what they eat is letting them pick what they eat. But if I can give them little ideas, that's what I did. So like, you know, something stupid, you know, those cheap packs of noodles.
Yeah.
Like 20p noodles. Yeah, 20p noodles with tuna. High protein, low calories, fills you up. Easy. And believe it or not, it's tasty. It sounds minging. It's tasty. So
that sounds pretty good.
Things like
sounds
that.
Pretty good.
I guess just do you know Ryan, the boxer that works out?
I know who he is. Yeah.
Right. He put that question up on his story the other day, and I replied just to be the sexiest version of myself, mate. That's the goal.
Oh, fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah, to be honest, just the same thing. I think I realized like maintenance is probably what I'm aiming for now. I don't really want to balloon up or anything. I'm happy with sort of the weight I am because I feel like I'm fast enough and I'm strong enough right now. I just want to maintain that and make sort of slow, steady progress and just sort of learn more about lifting on the way, really. And it's kind of like what you're saying as well. Like when you're training people, you want to be fully immersed in training yourself as well, so you can kind of lead by example. You know, if they see you doing it and trying new stuff and you know, posting your the stuff that you're doing, then that inspires them a lot more to keep training. Oh, here is. Oh, get him on.
I am listening.
What's his name?
Maybe I'll get him to say hi. Come here, mate.
Okay.
Come here. There you go. Say hi to Glen. Glen's talking about his goals. No, I agree, mate.
Yeah. Oh, mate, we've got to leave it there. That's all the time we've got today. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
No worries.
Yeah, I wish you the
next
best
time
of luck.
I'll lock the dog up in a basement or something. I don't have a basement, so I'll have to find somebody else's.
Okay, that's all right. Maybe you can use Nathan's.
We'll try again sometime.
All right. Catch you next time, man. Cheers.
Right, catch you soon, mate. Have a good one.